Imagine walking through life untouched by chaos. The world around you may be in turmoil, people yelling, deadlines looming, crises unfolding, but none of it phases you. You are calm, composed, unshakable. This isn't just a fantasy or a scene from a movie, it's a mindset, a way of life taught by the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus. His teachings show us how to act as if nothing bothers us, not by ignoring our problems, but by transforming how we respond to them. And in today's world, this mindset is more powerful than ever. Life is full of challenges. Every day, we face situations that test our patience, our emotions, and our resilience. From the rude driver cutting us off in traffic to the unforeseen obstacles at work, life can feel like a series of endless battles. But what if you could navigate these daily challenges with unshakable composure? What if you could act as if nothing truly bothers you, regardless of what life throws at you? This is where the teachings of Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher, come into play. Epictetus believed that while we cannot control the events that happen to us, we can control our reactions to them. This fundamental Stoic principle, that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of them, can be life-changing. It means that the power to remain undisturbed lies entirely within our own minds. We often hear people say, "Don't sweat the small stuff," but Epictetus took this further. For him, nothing was worth losing your inner peace over, not even the big stuff. Imagine you're at work and a colleague criticizes your performance in front of others. Instantly, your heart rate increases and you feel the sting of embarrassment and anger. But what if, instead of reacting defensively or letting it ruin your day, you paused and remembered Epictetus's teaching? You'd remind yourself that their opinion is just that, an opinion. It doesn't change who you are or what you're capable of. By distancing yourself from the need for external validation, you maintain your tranquility and respond with grace rather than aggression. This doesn't mean Stoicism advocates for passivity or emotional suppression. Far from it. Epictetus and other Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca understood that emotions are a natural part of being human. However, they also believed that letting these emotions dictate our actions leads to suffering. By mastering our responses, we not only protect our peace, but also gain clarity and strength in dealing with life's inevitable challenges. Consider how this mindset applies to modern life. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with information, much of it negative. News headlines scream about crises, social media is a breeding ground for comparison and criticism, and personal setbacks can feel like the end of the world. It's easy to get caught up in these external forces, to feel overwhelmed and powerless. But Stoicism teaches us that these are all external events, things beyond our control. What we can control is our internal state, our perceptions, and our actions. Let's take a practical example. You're scrolling through social media and you see a post that triggers you. Maybe it's someone bragging about their success, or perhaps it's a comment that feels like a personal attack. Your first instinct might be to react, to engage in a mental or even public argument. But what would Epictetus do? He'd remind you that the post is just an external event. The only power it has over you is the power you give it. By choosing not to react, by acting as if it doesn't bother you, you retain your peace and focus on what truly matters. This approach doesn't just apply to minor annoyances, but to major life events as well. Whether it's losing a job, facing a breakup, or dealing with the loss of a loved one, the Stoic philosophy provides a framework for enduring hardships without being consumed by them. Epictetus taught that we should view these events as tests, opportunities to practice resilience. He believed that adversity reveals our true character, and that by acting with dignity and composure, even in the face of great pain, we become stronger and more virtuous. One of the most powerful tools in the Stoic arsenal is the practice of negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. This involves mentally preparing yourself for potential challenges by imagining them before they happen. Far from being a pessimistic exercise, this practice helps you build resilience by lessening the shock of adversity. If you can calmly imagine losing a job, enduring public criticism, or even facing death, then when these things, or less severe versions of them, happen, you're better equipped to handle them without losing your composure. For example, before a big presentation, you might visualize everything that could go wrong: technical failures, tough questions, a hostile audience. By mentally preparing for these scenarios, you're not inviting them to happen, but rather you're training your mind to remain calm if they do. Then, when the actual event occurs, you're less likely to be thrown off balance by surprises. You can act as if nothing bothers you because you've already faced these challenges in your mind and emerged unscathed. Another key Stoic practice is the dichotomy of control. This is the idea that we should focus our energy only on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, our responses, and let go of everything else. This simple yet profound concept can transform how we approach life. So much of our stress and anxiety comes from trying to control the uncontrollable, from worrying about outcomes that are ultimately out of our hands. By embracing the dichotomy of control, we free ourselves from this burden and focus on what truly matters: living virtuously and with inner peace. Imagine applying this to a situation where you're waiting for important news, like the outcome of a job interview or medical test results. Naturally, you're anxious, but you realize that worrying won't change the outcome. What you can control is how you spend this time, whether you let anxiety consume you or you focus on productive, positive activities. By choosing the latter, you're acting as if the result doesn't bother you because, in a sense, it doesn't. You've done all you can, now it's in the hands of fate, or as the Stoics would say, the logos, the rational order of the universe. Epictetus also emphasized the importance of self-awareness and discipline in maintaining this mindset. It's not enough to simply decide to be unbothered. You must actively cultivate this attitude through daily practice. This might involve regular reflection on your thoughts and actions, meditation on Stoic principles, or even journaling about your experiences and how you handled them. Over time, these practices help reinforce your ability to remain calm and composed, even in the face of significant challenges. Acting as if nothing bothers you doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about the right things: your character, your actions, your inner peace. It's about prioritizing what truly matters and letting go of the rest. In a world that constantly tries to pull you in 1,000 different directions, this mindset is not only powerful but also liberating. It allows you to navigate life with a clear sense of purpose and resilience, untouched by the storms that might rage around you. So the next time you're faced with a challenge, big or small, remember the wisdom of Epictetus. Take a deep breath, remind yourself of what you can control, and act as if nothing bothers you. Because in the grand scheme of things, when you master your mind, nothing truly can.